Hello, and welcome back to all my lovers of Barbie, miniature, miniverse, fashion, and all things home decor. I'm, of course, Aries, and back to another episode of Aries Creative Concepts. I wanted to quickly show you guys a few of my fun finds for spring. So let's get into it because we have no time to waste. Here is my outfit of the day. I was able to pick up these 4 MGA Miniverse Make It Mini Spring series. So I'm hoping that I have all including the rare, but we will take a look. So let's get these things open. In this series, there are 4 items that we are hoping to receive. So I'm very excited. Let's get them open so that we can see if we got those rare daffodils. I absolutely hope we got them. Like most of the other holiday series, you can find what is included in the capsule on the picture that is located on the outside of the wrapper. But in the case of the rare, you don't necessarily know what you're getting until you open it. So let's open this first capsule and see if we got exactly what we think we're going to get, which is the very nice devil eggs, which is definitely one of my favorite things to eat. And now we can see a better look at the wrapper with the eggs on it to indicate that these are the devil egg. Now let's take a look at our collector's guide. We see all 4 items that are available in this series. And I totally adore them and their contents. And then we see on the back, of course, how to create all of these miniatures. And in our capsule today, we did receive the deviled eggs because we got the nice little tray that they are served in. And this is such an adorable miniature. And the table is totally on theme for the spring holiday. And of course, we get this spring vibes placemat. And also we received this thank you. Have an excellent day package within our capsule. So let's find out what we get inside. And we also got this cute little bowl that we're going to use to mix up our ingredients. And in our Keep Cool bag, we received our mayonnaise resin. And in our capsule, we received our bunny cloche, which is totally a cute thing to have. I also received this purple table bottom, which is definitely going to come in handy because I can never get enough of these. We got our deviled eggs. We received our purple tongs. We received peppercorn. We also received these carrots, a spoon, and our lovely bowl that we can use to mix up our ingredients. And I absolutely love the little decorative strip on this bowl with the little bunny and the flowers. It is so freaking adorable. So let's get these things open so that we can make our deviled eggs. And I gotta say, I absolutely adore deviled eggs in real life. So when there's an opportunity to make them in miniature, I'm like all for it. So this is like right up my alley, folks. The only thing, of course, that is missing is, and this is for anybody who knows how to make deviled eggs, I have to have relish in my deviled eggs, and I also have to have paprika. If I don't have paprika, it's not right. If I can't look at it and see those little red speckles all over it, I'm like, nah, those aren't deviled eggs I want. Just go ahead and keep that. And in our capsule, we also received the new mini post edition for the spring edition. And I think that this is so cute and such a nice added bonus to have in our capsules. It was used to wrap one of the items, but it definitely gives your place a very nice, realistic Easter touch. Where it's like, oh, I can read, something in my Easter paper or in my spring paper. I love it. You can't beat Miniverse with the details. And always, let's start by washing our hands. Cleanliness is the first key to success. Let's start by opening all of our products so that we have easy access. Next, let's take our spoon and dig out the egg yolks out of our boiled eggs. And I was very happy to find that with a little bit of bending or stretching of the whites of the egg, that you can actually separate the yolk. So that makes it very, very simple. Just pop all of your yolks out into your bowl and let's get ready for the next step. Once you have your yolks separated from your whites, it should look like this. Now we're going to take our spoon and take some mayonnaise and add it to our yolks. Give it a good mix, and then we're going to add in a little bit of seasoning, because I'm definitely a seasoning girl and I've got to find something that looks like paprika. Now, after a little bit of looking, I was able to find this spice rub that came with, I believe, the ribs, and I'm going to use that as my paprika. And these yolks are just made out of yellow kinetic sand. So you know the kinetic sand texture. As we mix in our mayo resin, it's going to give it a nice creamy but gritty consistency. So I'm hoping that I'll still be able to get it kind of neat to go back into the actual whites. But we shall see. Now let's take a look at the consistency of our white resin or our mayonnaise. It is very thick. Now let's give it a mix. So let me just lay this out for you guys, okay? First and foremost, I was like, I'm gonna make this my own way. I looked at the package. I saw they were supposed to look like baby chickens, and I was like, okay, maybe not for me. I did do one in the way that they're supposed to be, just to see if I really would like the way it looked. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. I would much rather my deviled eggs look like realistic deviled eggs. So I used some herbs from one of the other recipes. I forget which recipe it is, but I used the herbs from that recipe to make it look like relish was in my mix. And as far as trying to mix it, I'm gonna let y'all know, like, I had the hardest time trying to break apart these little yolks. They were not breaking apart for me, and I was like, this is gonna be a real excuse my language, a real SIT HIT show if I sit here and try to mix this up and then try to put it back. It was not gonna happen. So I just literally mixed them in the mayonnaise. Then I plopped them back into their respective whites, and I just flipped them upside down to make them kind of look like they're mound, like they've been, piped in like a regular, and I'm happy with the way they look. I did have a little accent, as y'all see, and the center one has way more herbs than need be, but that's fine. I can clean that off, not an issue. Now I'm going to take my spice rub and I'm going to use that to make it look like my paprika. Then I'm going to put it in our tray, and we're going to be ready to serve. But this this was way better in theory than I actually experienced. I'm going to give the experience of this one out of a 10 being best, I'm gonna give this experience probably like a 4, because this was just not, this just was not what I thought it was gonna be. And then actually trying to make it look like what it's supposed to look like, that was a real that was a real show too. But I will show you once I get it all put into my little decorative tray. And here are my completed deviled eggs. I am happy with the way they turned out. I was definitely not thinking that they were going to turn out nearly as good as they are right now. I did, like I said, do one that's supposed to be the way that it did, but then I messed it up by putting the paprika on it. And I use air quotes, the paprika on it. So, yeah, I am not really a fan of the way it's supposed to look. I don't, yeah, it's odd enough you're eating a chicken, then you're gonna eat a chicken that's decorated like a chicken. Nah, I'm good. No, I'm overthinking it. I truly am. But it's whatever. I just couldn't. Now let's get to capsule number 2. And that will be the capsule with the bunny rabbit cake on the side. And we did receive our bunny cake. And in the capsule, we received the bunny cake sponge cake. We received our shredded coconut. We received our bunny topper. We also received our nice new wood-like spatula. We also received a yellow cake tray or cake plate, which is totally adorable for this season. And we have, lastly but not least, our berry icing. So let's get to icing this cake so that we can put on our coconut. Now, because the coconut part is going to get pretty messy, I actually flipped the table around flipped it upside down, and I put the cake in the center. Now I'm going to take my icing and my spatula, and I'm going to spread the icing onto one half of the cake. That way, hopefully, it'll be easier for me to cure it in sections. So let's get to icing and applying our shredded coconut. Start by taking a look at the example photo, or what this item should look like. As you can see, it's going to look like a fluffy bunny. Now I'm just going to take my icing and spread it with our spatula on, like I said, one half of our cake. And as you can see, the consistency is pretty thick and pretty opaque, so I'm not sure if our light is going to work very fast to create this miniature, so I'm definitely going to cure this in sections. Okay, I now have a spread layer of icing. Now I'm going to take my coconut shreds and I'm going to apply them to the side that I just iced. While we cure our cake, let's start creating our next project. This should be the milkshake, but let's make sure, because we're not exactly sure how we're going to find our rare, and if we're going to find our rare. And yes, we did get our milkshakes. Let's take a look at what was in our capsule. We got our tabletop, which is purple this time around, which is adorable. We have our purple table bottom. We have our white top for our cloche. We have our whipped cream. We get 2 straws, 2 cups, 3 lollipops actually. And we get our strawberry milkshake resin. We get tongs, and like I said, 2 straws. So let's get these things open so that we can make our milkshakes. I almost forgot this piece. It was still in wrapping and I forgot it in the bottom of the thing. So make sure that you get all of your components out of the capsule. If not, I would have forgotten about this totally adorable little yellow and white gingham tray. It is so necessary to have your drinks on, and it is totally adorable. These cups are so freaking cute. They are pink and green, and I absolutely love those colors. As we know, my kitchen is pink and green, so these will go perfectly with my decor. Now let's add our strawberry milkshake to our cups. Now let's add our resin to our second cup, or our strawberry shake. Now let's add our strawberry shake to our second cup. Now let's place our straws into our cups. Now let's take a look at the nice whipped creams that this set comes with. As you can see, the set comes with one teal and one purple colored whipped cream. And I absolutely think this is fabulous. Give it a nice color and a nice topper. It's gonna look amazing. Let's give this a cure so that we are able to place our whipped cream last. And I don't specifically want to stick my lollipops into my sundae, so I will be keeping them on the side. But I will show you a way that you can make it look as though they are in your whipped cream. Now let's give these milkshakes a cure. While our milkshakes are curing, let's take a look at our cake. Our cake, as you can see, we have only done one side of. So let's ice the second half and put on our shredded coconut. And as you can see, the cake is already coming out beautifully. I am very happy with the way that the shredded coconut looks so far. So let's ice our second half of our cake before we put our shredded coconut on. Now that we've evenly spread our icing, we are going to take our shredded coconut and we are going to sprinkle it all over. Now, do make sure to not cover up the two holes that can be used to hold our ears. So, be very careful when you're applying your icing to the top of your cake. Now I'll place my cake back on my table, and I am going to use my shredded coconut to shake all over this cake to give it a nice fluffy look. And now this is what our covered cake looks like. Let's give it a cure so that we can begin to decorate. Now let's take a look at my curing process in my little light bed. Looks like a tanning booth. I absolutely have to run it through a few times in this, but it definitely works, and I appreciate the fact that I don't have to hold it. So, yeah. Would I recommend this product? Possibly, but only for a person that doesn't mind the time that it'll take. But it does, like I said, give you a hands-free option. Now, while those things are curing, let's put our things away and get our set clean so that we can get to our last capsule. Our last capsule of the day is yet another bunny cake. Or is it really? Let's get it open to see what can be found in this last capsule. Before we open this capsule, I took a look at the capsule itself to see if there were any distinguishing marks, and I realized that there is a slight pen mark or pencil mark right next to the trash can, as you can see. So I'm not exactly sure if that indicates anything, but I did not see that mark on any of my other capsules. So let's see if we can find something special, or something rare, rather, in this capsule. Because I am seriously on the hunt for this rare for you guys, I am going to actually weigh this capsule just to see if there's anything distinct about this capsule. So let's get to weighing so that we can see if I can help you find this rare. Now this capsule is coming in at 93.4 grams. So if you are looking for the rare, hopefully this might help you. And we were able to find the rare. We got the daffodils, guys, and I am so excited. They are so cute, and I cannot wait to get them out of this package to take a closer look. But let's take a look at what we get in our capsule. We get this cute yellow and white gingham table, which I definitely have got to find a use for. So many tabletops, it's not even funny. We also get these two garden sticks and stickers. to be able to label our flowers. We got flower mix happy co-grow mix. We also have our 2 holders for our flowers. We also got this nice little pink tray that we can put our planters on. And of course, we got this little spade or this little garden shovel. So let's get these things out of the package so that we can put this project together. But let's first take a look at how this project is supposed to look. And as you can see from our guide, this is how our project is supposed to look once it is complete. I cannot wait to put this miniature together, so let's open all of our products. But first, let's take a closer look at our daffodils in this adorable new mini post edition for spring. As you can see, they are very cute flowers made with 2 different types of petals. One that gives you a bulb effect and then the other that gives you a bloomed effect. I'm not exactly sure what the parts of a daffodil are. Perhaps I should look that up. As you can see, the daffodils come with 2 different colors. There are white daffodils and there are yellow. Before we begin putting our daffodils together, let's take a look at the process to complete this project. We are going to take our planters out of the box. We are going to place them on our little stand or tray, and then we are going to add our soil. Then we are going to place a daffodil into each planter and add our garden sticks. Planters are out of the box. We can take a look at how totally precious they are. We have a purple bunny and a yellow chick sitting in a little eggshell. Totally sweet, and I absolutely am smiling at these miniatures. Let's add our soil before we add our plants. I began by adding a little dirt to both pots, and then we're going to add our flowers, and then we're going to see if we need additional dirt. I don't want to overpack, and I do want the bulbs to be completely covered. So learn from my mistake, guys. Actually, what I did was I put the soil in and then I put the flower in, but the soil would not allow the flower bulb to be covered. So I had to take the dirt out of the planter, put the flower in first, and then stick dirt on top of the bulb. That way it gives the appearance of it's a planted flower and it covers the bulb completely. And you're able to set it down into the pot because the pot is not very deep. It's not very deep, and yeah, you would definitely have a lot going on if you don't put the plant in first. So let me put my second plant in by first removing my soil and then planting my flower and then placing the soil. I know that's a lot to go through, but that is what we have to do to make this a successful build. I think it makes all the difference if we put our plant in the planter. Now, if you want to make it permanent, you can always put a little resin on the bottom of your bulb just to keep it stationary. But as you see right now, I don't have any resin in this pot with my chickadee, and it's standing up completely on its own. So let me add some soil to finish our hat. I'm having so many issues getting things out today, guys. Oh my goodness. It is one of those Easters. It's one of those spring days. The last step in completing this project is to place our garden stakes. And they are 2 wooden little plaques that you can add these adorable little labels. And you see there are 4 labels to choose from. And I think I'm going to use Grow with the Flow and High Maintenance. Or yeah, I think I'm going to use one of each of the colors. So let me do that and place them and we'll be done. And with the addition of our garden stakes, we have our completed rare daffodils, and I am so satisfied to have this miniature. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I hope that I can help you if you are looking for these miniatures and were unable to find them. So remember, look for a capsule that has a slight pencil mark across the trash can on the side of the package, and you may be in possession of the rare. Now let's finish our other projects that have been cured. Now that our milkshakes have cured and our curing station I would put it through like 3 cycles of 4 minutes apiece to make sure that they were done. Now we're going to add our whipped cream toppers. Now let's take 2 of these adorable lollipops, which we have 2 bunnies and 1 blue Easter egg, and place these in our cups. Now, to give you the effect that these lollipops are placed in our cups, we are just going to take a piece of clear tape and place them along the back side of our cups. That way they'll look like they're in, but they're really not. That way we can use them in other projects. I know that I would like to create Easter baskets for my godchildren and my niece. So let me put these to the side of our cups so that we can get the full effect, but they are not permanently fixed. Blue lollipop on our blue whipped cream, and then we're going to put our bunny on our pink or purple. I swear I'm colorblind, guys. Don't fault me. And it's kind of hard to see, but what I did was take regular tape, and because the cup is kind of grooved, I was able to put the tape over top of one of the grooves and stick the lollipop down inside of it. So it is removable and reusable, and it still gives the effect that we're looking for. And as you can see with this little trick, the lollipop is totally removable and I can place it back later. Just another little Aries hack that I thought I'd share with you guys. That way we don't have to make them permanent, because I love the look of these little lollipops. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Now let's complete our cake. Now let's place our adorable doily on its cake stand. Now let's grab our bunny decorations and our totally cured cake. And I am so happy with the way that my shredded coconut is looking. I think it's spread out evenly and it's definitely giving a full effect. Let's add our ears and our eyes and we'll be done. I used my tweezers with a little bit of resin to place my bunny tail on the back of my cake. And let me turn him around and use the same process to put his eyes and his nose. Or his mouth. I don't know what that is. And lastly, because it's a holiday, you know I have to decorate. So let me show you a few things that I picked up to make my space look a little more festive for the spring and for the Easter holiday. The first bit of decor that I was able to pick up are these 3 vinyl peeps that I got from the Dollar Tree. They were $3 and they are totally worth the expense. They give the look of a peep, which is definitely a staple in any Easter basket. And I definitely plan on using these around my space. So let me get them out of the package so that we can do that. And they're actual squeak toys. So that'll definitely add to your holiday. At the beginning of the season, I was able to find these adorable little bunny statues at my local Target for $1 a piece in the bullseye section. They are totally giving the vibes of like a oversized chocolate bunny. And if they were, I would be over here eating them. They would have no heads. Because I would definitely eat them. I love candy. And chocolate bunnies have always been my favorite. I was able to find these lovely picks appropriate for the season at my local Michael's for $1 a piece. And I actually picked up 3. So I wanted to use them kind of like, I I don't know, some kind of decorative flair around my front door. So let's go outside so that we can continue to place our items for my front door for the spring. I was also able to find in the bullseye section these adorable potted plants that look like they are potted in cracked eggs. I thought this was so stinking cute. So I'm going to add these planters to the sides of my house to give a little more of a spring feel. And here is another plant that I was able to find at my local Target for $1 in the bullseye section. And we're going to use these planters to decorate our front door. And I don't know about you guys, but I think this is definitely adding to my festive mood. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And now we have our completed bunny cake. And this thing is so adorable. I cannot say enough about what I think of this cake. It is totally cute. And I can't wait to have it as the center of my Easter display or my spring display. And now here's a look at our completed 4 projects for the spring series. I love these miniatures. They are totally adorable, and I am so happy that I have them in my collection. Let me know what you guys think about these miniatures. Do you have them? Did you get them? Do you want them? And which one was your favorite? Now, what is Easter or spring without baskets? So I went to my local Hobby Lobby and I was able to pick up 6 miniature baskets for a very affordable price. While at Hobby Lobby, I was also able to procure these adorable eggs that are in various colors and pastel and glitter. They are going to add so much realism to our Easter baskets. I also found these flatback Easter crafts at my local Michael's for $3.49. They were 50% off, so I paid $1.50, and they are totally giving the look of chocolate bunnies to go in our baskets. So let's place these. I started by placing some tissue in the bottom of my baskets just to give it a little height. Then I added in our basket filler in this pink marble or pearlescent, and then we're going to add in our eggs and our flatbacks, and we're going to use some Miniverse mini brands that I have to fill our baskets. Really quickly before I forget, I was able to find these little miniature purple baskets with these adorable bunnies at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. I picked up a few of them, and I love the idea of having this bunny rabbit as like a statue around my house. So let's place him in our Easter baskets. And I did some hunting in my little miniature stash, and I found 2 of these white bunnies with this adorable little heart on the ear. I think these would look so cute as decorations in our Easter basket. So let's place everything in our basket and see what we have. I also found these erasers that look like bunny rabbits at my local Dollar Tree. They came, I believe it was like 6 in a pack. So I have plenty of them to just have around to give a more festive vibe, because we are all about the festive vibe. Now that we've added everything to our baskets, we are totally ready for Easter and for my godson and my niece. I hope they like these. Would you like them if you were a child? Let me know in the comments.
Thank you, Aunt Aries. Happy Easter, everybody.
And the last thing I want to open today is this Barbie cutie reveal. And I absolutely thought this would be perfect for spring and Easter because she's dressed as a bunny. So let's get her open. And now that she's out of the package, we can see that she is in very nice colors. Purple, pink, yellow, green. And she has the mascot feet and the mascot hands. Let's get the head off so that we can see who is within the Easter bunny costume.
Wow, it's the Easter bunny.
And of course, we had to move her to a different room because we don't want children getting scarred by seeing the bunny's head off. But with the head off, this doll is absolutely gorgeous. I actually purchased her not only for the fact that she's dressed as a bunny, but the fact that she has similar face sculpt to Aries, and she has a smile, which is definitely something I was looking for in my last doll, but I was not happy with the hair. This doll, on the other hand, has gorgeous hair, and I absolutely adore the pink streak in her hair. Let's take a look at this gorgeous doll. And this gorgeous young lady comes with 3 surprise packages. Let's get them open to see what we get inside. Now this girl comes with a painted on bathing suit in yellow, which is adorable. But to use her as the new Aries Smiling, we're definitely going to put her on a made to move body. She does, however, come with this very nice pink sparkly skirt, and her jacket is reversible. So let me put those on so that we can see how they look. She comes with, as well, some pink boots, a yellow bunny, some pink earrings, a nice brush that allows for her color change, which if you put hot or cold onto her lips, I believe they change, and her hair changes as well. But I'm not interested in the color change aspect. I just really love this young lady's gorgeous face and her hair. Now here's a look at the young lady in her surprise outfit pieces. Her boots are very nice. They go well on her flat feet. Her feet do not have ankles that move. She only has articulation at the elbow, the shoulder, and the knees. But I am loving this lady's look. She is totally giving the vibes that we need her to give. And I'm going to simply adore her as my Aries with a smile. And here is a better look at this young lady's gorgeous hair. It does need a comb, and I think I might actually do a boil wash just to get it to lay down flat. But I absolutely am in love with this young lady. So we will complete her transition into Aries with a smile on a future episode. That's coming very soon. But today she is our bunny. So now let's place her back in the scene so that we can finish up this video.
The Easter bunny is so fluffy.
I hope you guys have a fantastic holiday. I hope this was a great opening to your spring. And I am just so happy to have celebrated this awesome holiday with you. Always remember to do your best, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content. Bye guys.